Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Ray. Hey guys.
That energy went like that.
We're gonna talk about Attack on Titan and which Attack on Titan characters fit into which Hogwarts house. I'm sure this has been done before, but the difference is you didn't hear it from us, and we're experts in both Attack on Titan and Harry Potter. We have average knowledge of both properties, except Will. He probably has more knowledge about Harry Potter. We'll start off by talking about what each Hogwarts house is and what defines each Hogwarts house. So Will, you could take it away.
So we will be going with purely the Google review of each Hogwarts house. Gryffindor being the values of bravery, helping others, and chivalry. Hufflepuff, hard work, patience, loyalty, and fair play. Ravenclaw, intelligence, knowledge, planning ahead, and wit. Slytherin, ambition, cunningness, heritage, and resourcefulness.
Let's start off with the main trio. Eren Yeager, Gryffindor.
Yeah, he's like a textbook Gryffindor.
Yeah.
I have no qualms with that.
He's dumb and brave. Gryffindor.
He's got a lot of noise.
Eren would definitely be in Gryffindor house.
Mm-hmm.
We all agree with that?
I'm in agreement
Okay.
fully.
Mikasa. I actually think Mikasa would belong to Hufflepuff. I think what defines her most as a character is her loyalty to Eren.
It's literally written in her biology.
I can't see Mikasa being any other house.
Armin, me and Reza talked about this. I actually think Armin would be Gryffindor. Yeah, Armin is smart. He is loyal. He is very resourceful and cunning, which is kind of scary. I think that's what him and Erwin have a lot in common. But I think what defines him most is his bravery, actually. And I think the episode that solidified that was the hero episode in season 3, where he sacrificed himself for his friends. Eren even said that Armin is the bravest out of all of them. So I think Armin would be a Gryffindor.
I think in first appearance, you'd probably think Armin as a Ravenclaw, like in season 1. But I think his growth as a character, and just in the way that his friends believed in him, like that he really was a very brave person. Like what Eren said, that he was the bravest of them all. But what I also find intriguing is that I think you could make an argument for Armin being a Slytherin, because there are creepy moments of cunning and strategy in him. But I'd definitely go with Gryffindor.
I was on the Armin Ravenclaw bandwagon until the episode Hero, so I agree 100% with Randy.
Sorting Hat says...
Survey says...
Survey says... Gryffindor!
So speaking of Armin, we have to talk about Erwin. And Erwin, I think, is a textbook Slytherin.
Yes.
I think he is very cunning, very resourceful, and that's what defines him the best.
He is defined by cunningness and resourcefulness, and that's literally two of the defining characteristics of the Slytherin.
And he's also ambitious.
And he is ambitious, yeah, absolutely.
He's an extremely clear Slytherin, but I think, like, he's one of the ballsiest Attack on Titan characters. He's more of a Gryffindor than, I would say, a lot of the Gryffindor characters.
Yeah, true.
But, I mean, he's
yeah, at his core, it's his tactical mind, man. Let's go with Erwin's right-hand man, Levi. Now, this may be a controversial opinion, but I actually think Levi's a Hufflepuff. Because I think what defines him is his loyalty to his comrades.
We discussed this before, and I mean, Hufflepuffs kind of get a bad rap for being like, they're not quite as brave as Gryffindors, they're not as smart as Ravenclaws, and, you know, they're not as cool and mysterious as Slytherins, but Levi has traits that could fit in all 4 houses.
Yeah.
Like, he really is all of them. But I think the biggest thing to him is that he doesn't want to lose anyone that he cares about. He's ride or die for his people.
For the Survey Corps.
Yeah, for the people that he cares about. I don't really think he has that Gryffindor nerve, because he doesn't like picking fights that he knows that are a bad matchup for him. Like in season 1 when he first goes ham on Annie. Spoilers. In season 1 when Levi goes ham on Annie, he tells Mikasa, don't try and be brazen and try and kill her.
We don't have the training to deal with this.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, so Levi does value safety. I mean, here's another spoiler. Like in season 3, in the fight in Liberia, what Levi says to his comrades when they're invading Liberia is he says, don't die, survive.
I would say OVA Levi is a Slytherin to me.
Oh, why?
Because he's just trying to survive.
Okay.
That was nothing but ambition on his part. But there are traits of Hufflepuff spilling over in that Farlan, yeah. Farlan and Isabel.
Isabel Magnolia.
Blanking on their names. He was trying to protect them, but I would say pre-Erwin, Levi is Slytherin, but post-Erwin, Hufflepuff. So I can agree with that.
Hufflepuff for Levi Ackerman.
Yeah, and if it sounds like we're agreeing too much, I mean, Again, we've already
We've
talked
talked
about
about
we've
Yeah.
talked
these.
about a lot of these before, but we might be getting into some new territory.
Hanji. Now, Hanji, she's a bit quirky, and stereotypically, you'd think of quirky is associated with Ravenclaw House. Ravenclaw is known for their intelligence, their wisdom, and what again?
Knowledge and wit and
Yeah.
creativity.
And I think that fits Hanji like a glove.
She gives me the Luna Lovegood Ravenclaw vibes.
Yeah, boom.
Kind of out there, but very intelligent, very smart.
And she's also very brave too.
So,
But yeah, I agree. Ravenclaw.
Hanji's Ravenclaw. You know what? Historia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we've talked about
I
it.
don't. We haven't. I am having a tough time deciding because I'm anime only. My brother knows everything. He's caught up in the manga. Me and Will are only with the anime, so I only know Historia up to the anime. So Reza may know more about it. So, would you guys have any opinions on what you'd put Historia in?
I think first it's easier to just say what she's not. I don't think she's a Slytherin, and I don't think she's a Ravenclaw. There's not really anything she's ever done to make me lean toward. I mean, there's a lot she has to do as queen and assuming that role that's inherently brave, but it's nothing that's ever defined her to me.
You know, thinking about it, I think I might put her in Gryffindor. I think in season 2, again, it's been a while, like the whole arc of her trying to overcome her family, false name she had, and becoming herself. And when she broke out of her shell, she was really like gung-ho about
Yeah,
what
that
she
is
believed
true.
in and going against her father and even authorities. So I think I'd lean for her to be in Gryffindor house.
I'm actually going to make the argument, almost for that exact same reason, but a different perspective. She's a Hufflepuff because the reason she fought against her father and fought against her family and fought against everything that she was destined to do is out of a loyalty to her friends.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Into Ymir, into, you know, Ymir's like, live your life, be essentially loyal to yourself, live a life that you are proud of, you know, nobody else.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I would put her in Hufflepuff, but I could definitely see the argument for Gryffindor.
If she is a Gryffindor, I think she'd be like kind of a Neville Longbottom Gryffindor that takes a while to really manifest those traits. I still think I would lean her towards Hufflepuff.
Okay.
There are some things left to learn that make me lean still more towards Hufflepuff. Some things she learned as a kid. I lost my train of thought here.
Hufflepuff, no.
Something about her being a kid.
Yeah, I don't know how much.
I guess we'll put her for Hufflepuff now.
Survey says Hufflepuff.
Survey says Hufflepuff.
Okay, I guess we'll say Hufflepuff for now, but we are open to her being part of Gryffindor house. So,
But she's not a Ravenclaw.
no.
She's not a Slytherin.
Hufflepuff, question mark? Can't talk about Historia without talking about Ymir. Yeah, I really haven't thought about this. That's hard. What defines her?
I would make Ymir a Slytherin.
I was thinking that too, but
thinking
why?
that,
She's very, I guess, confrontational and brave, which would make you initially think Gryffindor.
but it's the whatever I can do to survive mentality. Like,
Yeah.
these people are worshiping me as this deity. It's like, I'm going to go along with it because this is my lifeline. And then same when she's inside the wall, she's literally stealing food, stealing money, information, whatever she can do to survive. And so I think that's a very Slytherin trait.
I totally
Very
agree.
resourceful.
When you learn her backstory, it makes me think Slytherin. Because even then, like, when she was the figurehead for that cult, season 2, that we had no idea where it was or what it was
Yeah.
Yeah, I
about,
was like, what is happening?
she didn't buy it. She didn't.
No.
She had no idea what was going on. It was just that it gave her food and people liked her. I definitely think Slytherin. It's like, I think I read one description as an instinct for self-preservation, something like that.
Exactly. Yes,
For
yes,
her?
that's a huge
For,
thing. with
Slytherins in
Slytherins
general.
is just instinctual self-preservation, and that's almost her entire character.
Okay.
Until she meets Historia, and then things change a little bit. But I think at her core, she's Slytherin.
What do you think?
I agree with that. I actually thought Slytherin because she is a survivor, but you guys put it more eloquently than I would have. So we're gonna vote Ymir, Slytherin.
Boom.
Nice.
So let's talk about the other people in the 104th. Let's talk about Eren's rival in the early episodes, the simp from Mikasa, the horseman himself, Jean Kirstein.
So this is where Rezo and I have a bit of a disagreement because we've talked about this one a lot. I think he's a Gryffindor. I think two strong cases can be made for Gryffindor and Ravenclaw, and maybe a kind of a case for Slytherin, but to me, Gryffindor and Ravenclaw mostly. And the reason I think he's a Gryffindor is because of that one defining moment in season 1 where he chooses to join the Scouts and he goes against every instinct in his body that's telling him, turn the other way, you're gonna die, this is it, like, you gotta get out of here, and he doesn't. He doesn't listen to what, in that case, was logical and was the right decision. Essentially, he follows his heart rather than his brain there, and that, to me, is the single defining moment of his character that makes me think he's a Gryffindor, but Reza will present his argument.
So, like, Jean, when you first meet him, he kind of has some stereotypical Slytherin traits. And that he's very cunning, and the entire reason he's in the military is for his ambitions to live a cushy life. His first conversation with Eren is about self-preservation. Like, oh, you're stupid, you won't fight the Titans. I'm going in the walls, I'm gonna live a nice cushy life. I personally find Jean to be a Ravenclaw because it's actually connected with the reasons why his comrades find him to be a natural leader. And it's because he's quick-witted, he thinks on his feet, he's very clever. Like in Season 3, when they're fighting in Shiganshina, and Armin is still thinking about how they're gonna win. He says, Jean, can you take over for the meantime? It's that he thinks quick on his feet. You know, honestly, your thing is sounding pretty good. It's sounding pretty good now.
Yeah. I could see both.
So when I break down the characters, I almost like to look for... It almost seems counterintuitive to just look for one moment, but at the same time, I try to look for that literal, like, defining moment that it's... And sometimes you can't, because sometimes they don't have that. So, like, Ymir, we had to look at her whole life. But with Jean, there's just that.
Yeah,
it's like that's his core. Like he showed his, I don't know.
Yeah, and him joining the Survey Corps, it's not about self-preservation.
No, he denied both self-preservation and he denied logic, and that's Slytherin and Ravenclaw to me.
His main motivation is it's responsibility.
And chivalry.
And chivalry, and he is a natural-born leader, and that's usually associated with Gryffindor.
You know what? You convinced me. Because I initially was sided with Rezo that he's a Ravenclaw. I think the whole reason he joined the Survey Corps was for Marco and for his friends, and you could say Hufflepuff, but Gryffindors care about their friends too. I think every house cares about their friends.
But Rezo also convinced me on Armin, because I was a strong Armin is a Ravenclaw, and then I'm totally Armin is a Gryffindor nowadays because of that one defining moment in Hero where it's like Armin showed to me what is his true self.
Yeah. That's how Isayama describes Armin, by the way. He says he's someone who saved his allies countless times with both his intellect and bravery.
Okay, you convinced me. We're gonna put Jean.
It's all about healthy debate.
Gryffindor.
Yeah, we'll put Gryffindor, yeah.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Marco. I haven't talked about Marco in a while. Marco.
Man, what an extensive history.
I feel so bad for him, man. His deaths are one of the worst.
Yeah,
there's multiple deaths.
Oh gosh. Or yeah, his death, not deaths. Marco. There's not much about him, right?
I mean, we don't have a whole lot about him, but I'd say he's a good Hufflepuff.
Yeah,
He's a pretty brave dude.
He was brave.
He's a mediator. He's loyal.
He was always the mediator between friends. That's a very Hufflepuff trait. Kind of the main thing we remember is everybody liked him. He just got along. He was fair, and that is a Hufflepuff trait.
That's true. He was very fair.
Yeah. Okay. I don't really have an argument. Yeah. Okay, we'll go with Hufflepuff.
All right, let's go with Connie.
Connie
Springer.
Connie's a funny guy.
He is funny.
I kind of want to say Gryffindor.
Yeah, that's my take on him.
That's reasonable, yeah.
Connie is like, he's like your image of like an adventurous Gryffindor.
Adventurous kid.
Yeah, and along with his partner.
Yeah.
His partner in crime.
Oh, you think him and Sasha are Gryffindors?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So this is kind of stupid. I do. But one of the biggest aspects of Hufflepuffs in the books, and it's kind of a joke, but it's also serious, is how much they love food and how they can always locate food. And even the password to, if I'm remembering this correctly, the password to their dormitory is always food of some sort. Their house is also, or their dormitory is also right next to the Hogwarts kitchens because of how much they love to eat.
That's actually a good point.
You could, I mean, at her core, I guess you could say Sasha's a Hufflepuff just because her love to survive and to eat.
Yeah.
But you could also make the reasonable Gryffindor argument. it's like instinctually Sasha's a Hufflepuff, but I
Yeah.
think personality-wise, you could also say she's a Gryffindor.
If she is a Gryffindor, she's a Gryffindor that's always hanging around like the Hufflepuff
Oh yeah,
kitchen.
absolutely. She's always around the Hufflepuffs if she's a Gryffindor.
You know what? I think I'll put Connie as Gryffindor, Sasha as Hufflepuff.
That's fair.
Because I think, I mean, that's who Sasha is. She loves food.
Yeah.
Well,
Is
Isn't that a big reason why she joined the Survey Corps was because of food?
No, it's not why.
Why did she join again?
It's the father says it in well, I mean, she says that's about food.
Okay.
But the father says the reason in season 3 or in season 4.
Oh, okay.
One of the last episodes.
Well, what did he say?
It was something like the forest is full of wolves or something, and Sasha's a brave girl, so we had to let her go deep into the forest, and I think she just got too close to the wolves.
Oh, yeah. Gosh.
That was very deep.
She's almost like Levi for me in that she's like a perfect split
Yeah.
between multiple things.
Also season 2. Like her biggest heroic moment of saving that kid.
Mm-hmm.
That was very Gryffindor.
Man.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Hufflepuffs can save.
Yeah, I mean,
Hufflepuffs are brave too.
Hufflepuffs are not just inherently cowards or anything. In fact, J.K. Rowling herself was like, in a way, Hufflepuffs were the most brave in the last battle. But the Hufflepuffs that stayed and fought, that was like true bravery. Like that was just going against,
evil.
Self-preservation. Yeah, evil. Exactly. It was just going against evil for the sake of going against evil.
Oh, that's
For the
tough.
sake
It's
of
tough to
being
say.
good.
If Sasha is a Hufflepuff, she's a very brave Hufflepuff and a good
Yeah.
example of Hufflepuff courage.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
I almost want to put her in Hufflepuff for that reason to kind of
Yeah.
let's
play
do
with
that.
the stereotype a little bit.
So Connie's
So Connie
Gryffindor,
Gryffindor and
Sasha Hufflepuff. So let's talk about Reiner. What would Reiner be?
Reiner's a Gryffindor, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have no argument against that.
He's a wildly insecure Gryffindor.
Yeah.
That's how I describe him.
Yeah, he has a small PP energy.
And most things he's done are really, really stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
They're brave, but
Yeah.
they're so stupid.
Yeah, he doesn't really think ahead
Yeah,
No.
no. He's like Eren.
in a lot of ways. Okay, Gryffindor, that's pretty easy. Now, here's someone interesting. Bertholdt.
Bertholdt.
What would Bertholdt? Bertholdt. Which house would he belong to?
I think Bertholdt's a Hufflepuff because I think that Reiner, he just kind of developed split personalities. Like, it really did a lot of damage to his psyche. But Bertholdt, he was just, like, genuinely hurt by what he had to do. Like, in season 2, people who considered him their friend, they were like, why are you two doing this? When Reiner was running, carrying them. And Bertholdt said, do you think anyone would want to do this? He did care about his comrades in a way. But he didn't want to get attached to them. This is going on a tangent here. But he has to create a distance between them so he doesn't get attached and doesn't feel bad about what he has to do. Unlike Reiner. Reiner's like, oh yeah, we're all buddies here. But Bertholdt, I think he's actually like a sensitive person, which is the reason why he has his distance. And he likes peace.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the mission at all.
Yeah.
He hates what he has to do.
Then what's the purpose of him doing it, do you think? Of doing all these things?
We know. But, I mean, he has
emotional core of it.
I mean, it's out of his deepest loyalty to
protect his friends and family.
His friends and family back where he's from.
You agree with that?
Yeah, and loyalty to Marley.
He's extremely loyal to Reiner and Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go home without them. He doesn't even want to go home a winner. He has to go home with his comrades.
Okay, I agree with that. Hufflepuff. Bertholdt. Annie.
Annie.
I feel like you'd have a better say in it than me.
Annie, to me, I'm still thinking about why, but she's either Slytherin or Ravenclaw to me.
Annie to me is a Slytherin.
Okay,
I think.
why?
But in season 4, in the extremely important episode of Reiner's flashbacks, Annie is not she's not racist at all. She doesn't care about the fascist mission.
Yeah.
The entire reason she's doing it is self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. She
Yes.
says, like, Marlians, Eldians, screw all of them. They're all stupid and selfish and only care about themselves, and I'm no different.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get home to my dad.
Yeah.
I think Annie actually has a good heart, but
Mm-hmm.
she's just,
She's looking out for number one.
yeah, she's put in.
And she is smart and she is practical, but I agree. Slytherin.
Yeah.
Okay. Slytherin house.
There's kind of a throwaway character, but I don't even know if you guys remember him.
Mina, Carolina.
It's Daz. Yeah, Daz is the guy who vomited.
Daz was a muggle.
Daz is.
Yeah, Daz is a muggle.
Daz,
I agree with that.
Daz is the character that Isayama said he's kind of like. Isayama has said that he's like Eren, Armin, and Daz. So in other words, an emo, a nerd, and just
A loser.
A loser. Yeah.
Okay, Daz is a muggle.
That's just a muggle, yeah.
Let's go with Keith Shaddis,
Keith.
the trainer of the 104th.
Snape.
Snape, yeah.
Yeah. Keith, my first instinct is that he's a Gryffindor that went wrong.
He was brave but stupid.
Yeah.
He was, let's
What?
rush the
Okay.
Titans, and let's push beyond our boundaries without thinking, really.
Yeah.
So that is very Gryffindor.
He has
As
that
he
nerve.
aged, though,
His soul is hollowed out.
I'm not sure if I'd still call him a Gryffindor in old age.
Well, I mean, with the last episode,
That's true.
He
That's
stood
true.
up-
He literally stood
Oh,
up
yeah, he
against
did.
a gun.
I mean, a lot of these guys.
he
are
had a gun
Gryffindors.
pointed and fired at him, and he did not flinch.
That is true.
He walked closer
That
to
is
Flock,
true.
and
That
he
is
said,
true.
"Oh, I see. You can only talk up to your superiors when you're hiding behind a gun."
Yeah.
No, okay, Gryffindor.
Yeah,
That was he's a
yeah,
Gryffindor.
yeah.
Most
He's,
of these guys
uh,
are Gryffindor.
He's made a lot of mistakes, but I mean, if you're in the Survey Corps, you're kind of insane.
That's the thing. A lot of people in Attack on Titan, I think, are just
Very
innately Gryffindors
Yeah. So
in
we'll
a
get
lot
there,
of
man.
ways. But so we got to kind of find what might shift them elsewhere.
Well, how about not Survey Corps? Let's
Okay.
talk about the commander of
Mm.
the garrison, Mr. Megamind.
Mr. Megamind
Dot
himself.
Pyxis.
Yep. I think
maybe Ravenclaw.
I think he's a Chad Ravenclaw.
He's very pragmatic, and that
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
is a
yeah, yeah.
Ravenclaw thing. He likes to think things through.
He's
he likes
eccentric.
he's eccentric
Yes.
in a creative way. He likes to use logic. He's looking out for the best of everyone, but he's willing to kind of make some sacrifices
Yes,
here and there
yeah,
for
yeah.
the greater good, kind of.
Yeah, he's playing 4D chess in his brain.
Yeah, exactly.
His
That
big
big
brain.
Megamind brain.
Yeah. That's why his head got bigger in season 4.
If you don't make some edit with him being Ravenclaw, which is blue, and turning him into Megamind,
No, I will.
I'll be very
I will. It's
disappointed.
I think we
Yeah.
should put Doc Pyxis as a Ravenclaw. Survey says Ravenclaw.
Boom. How about the commander of the military police, Mr. Nile Dok?
Nile Dok.
I don't know much about him.
I mean, we don't know too much about him, but we do know that he was an old friend of Erwin's.
Mhm.
He was in favor of dissecting Eren
He was, yeah.
in season 1, and he arrested Erwin when Stohas was being invaded instead
Yeah.
of letting Erwin continue commanding the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Ravenclaw?
I would make Nile Dok a Hufflepuff
Really? Why?
because his biggest thing is actually loyalty to the monarchy
That is
and to the
true.
people of the
That is
walls.
true.
He's a staunch traditionalist. When he took over Erwin's plan, it wasn't stupid. It's just he hates the way that Erwin takes huge gambles.
Mm.
And he said, "We're going to take over your insane operation, and the main thing we're going to prioritize is evacuating civilians." The reason why he wanted to dissect Eren is because of fear. He was
Yeah, yeah.
scared of what he was. Also, loyalty to the king and queen. When he was sitting around with the officials drinking, they were like, "Oh, Historia, the queen got herself knocked up." That jelly donut looking man.
Yeah.
He said, "Historia got herself knocked up." He's like, "Hey, shut up.
yeah.
The queen has a right to choose her partner." He was white knighting. He was white knighting Historia.
Okay, you convinced me. I don't know much about him, so I'll agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hufflepuff. Boom.
The most important character of all time, Darius Zackly.
Hilarious.
The guy's like, "It's quite hard. Order."
I'm saying.
Yeah, Santa Man.
Ravenclaw.
I was about to say, I could see him being like old school Ravenclaw.
Because he's
just
very
smart.
pragmatic.
Yeah, he's just a smart guy. He knows what it takes.
He's kind
to
of
rule a
impartial too.
country.
He's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Old school.
He doesn't
Ravenclaw.
really tie his emotions to anything, right?
He's witty.
He's a good judge, and I think Ravenclaws make good judges.
Yeah.
They like to look at every perspective. They like to have
Objectively.
all the information they can.
I think he's similar to Dot Pyxis
Mm.
in a good amount of ways. So he's like Dot Pyxis, but less alcoholic and pervy.
Oh, he's got his own weird obsessions.
Like what?
Are you serious?
What did
The
Darius Zackly?
torture?
Darius Zackly did that?
The torture.
What did he do?
We are talking about the same guy,
Oh,
right?
you're talking about Eren tied up to the pole?
No, when he like turned the one guy upside down in season 3, and he's like shoving a tube in his butt.
Oh yeah, I
don't remember
remember
this.
that.
you don't?
No, I don't remember
I
this.
remember. That's a
What
lot.
do you not remember?
I don't know why.
That's the chair that they brought up that exploded.
Yes,
that was his torture chair.
I don't remember that at
Oh
all.
my gosh.
You like pulled out a memory that was hidden
Well,
deep.
it was a weird inclusion, but it's not one you really. That was his creativity.
Yeah,
that's
That was
his
his
eccentricity.
creative aspect. His
torturing
creative
people.
outlook.
No, okay, Ravenclaw for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What a weird dude. Wow, I did not expect to get that much content from this guy.
Darius.
Let's talk about Hans.
Yeah, Hans.
The one that saved Eren and Mikasa and Armin
As
in the
kids.
Who do you think Hans would fit
Wait, is it
in?
Hans or Hannes?
Who do you
The
think
guy.
Hans would fit in?
Or, which house would Hans
It's a
go
little
to?
sus.
That's a little bit like
bogus.
Reiner's secret weakness for the Titans.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just shove this up their bunghole.
Which house would Hans go to?
We've talked about
He's
this
not
before.
a Slytherin by any stretch of
No.
the imagination. He just
I don't
likes
think
to
he's a
sit around
Gryffindor.
and drink.
Mm,
And he's not a Ravenclaw for any reason.
I think he's a Hufflepuff.
I can think of.
I think he's a Gryffindor.
Really? Why?
So one of the things for me that would point to him as a Gryffindor would be in the first episode, I'm gonna take down this Titan, and he runs up and he sees the smiling Titan, literally just frozen in fear, runs back, gets the kids, and he's like, I'm out. I don't want to deal with this. This is terrifying. And you can't blame him.
He's not immune from fear.
No, he's not immune from fear. However, even though he loses and gets eaten, in season 2, he does confront that fear. And that's almost like Neville Longbottom confronting literally all of the fears he confronts throughout the entire series. Because he's always terrified, but he's always willing to confront them to protect others. And so I think him finally coming to that point that he can stand there and fight it is a very Gryffindor trait. But I could also see a Hufflepuff argument for it.
But who's he loyal to, though?
Is the people he cares about?
Like who?
I could see,
Eren,
you're
Mikasa,
asking
and
me.
Armin.
I could see the Hufflepuff argument because he's extremely loyal
He cared
to
about
the
Carla.
Yeager family. Exactly. He was like
But he left her.
dedicated to the Yeager
He couldn't
family.
save her.
But I think as mostly a Gryffindor is what I'd say.
Yeah, I'd put Hannes as Gryffindor. That's fine.
Hannes Gryffindor?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I mean,
two
he
Gryffindors.
also literally in season 2, like, nobody expects the garrison to go outside of the walls, but he's literally like, I'm going to go on this expedition with all of you because I feel like it's my duty to protect.
Oh, yeah, true.
Okay, that's two Gryffindors. I don't really have a strong argument for Hufflepuff, so yeah, we'll go with Gryffindor. We're gonna talk about Pastor Nick. Is that his name, Pastor Nick?
We could.
Yeah, sure.
We don't know a ton about him.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know if we could sort him.
It's hard.
We hardly.
He's a Muggle.
Yeah, I'm Muggle.
He's a Muggle, a true outsider. Okay, so some people that passed my mind. Let's talk about Levi Ackerman's mentor, Kenny Ackerman. Kenny!
Oh man, that's a good one to talk about. I just feel like all Ackermans are Hufflepuffs, but what do you think?
But he's also got a lot of Slytherin energy to him.
For some reason, I'm thinking Ravenclaw.
Why?
I mean, he's got,
His
he's
eccentricity, his crazy thinking on his feet. He taught Levi his strategic mind.
Mhm.
He almost trapped Levi. He said, "Do I tell you what happens to a trapped rat?"
Levi cares more about his friends,
Yes.
so that's why I think he's Hufflepuff. But I
Kenny
think
cares
we
a lot about Yuri, though.
That's true.
He has that Ackerman loyalty.
Who's
That's
Yuri again?
that's the
His
thing
master.
though. That's
Yeah.
the thing though. He is dedicated and loyal to the royal family. However, we do learn his ulterior motivation. You have to be of royal blood to use the founding titan. He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What? You mean if I had this, it wouldn't work for me? And he's like, well, that
But arguably, the others had some ulterior motives.
No, that is true.
That Levi, the reason why Levi believed in Erwin is because he thought Erwin could get rid of the Scourge of the Titans.
Yeah, that is true.
And Mikasa has maybe Mikasa has feelings for Eren. I don't know. I don't want
Don't
to
wanna
push too much. But
I
maybe
could-
she likes him.
I
maybe.
could see Slytherin.
Yeah, he does have that ambition.
Again, it's
What he wanted the founding titan for himself?
Yes.
because he wanted to understand what it was that Yuri saw. Like he
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to
yeah,
know.
What it was is that the royal family was very peaceful
Mhm.
and lofty, and they seemed very kind and altruistic. And Kenny comes from the underground, from a rough world, and he thought, when you have that kind of godlike power, do you just become a good person like that?
Yeah, he just wanted to
know,
understand.
oh man, I could see. I don't think he's Hufflepuff actually. I mean, he is loyal, but the main thing that defines him.
To me, it's that ambition, that goal. So I personally am going to put him in Slytherin. And he also has some other kind of secondary Slytherin traits.
Yeah.
Just general resourcefulness of the
Mhm.
underground.
Mhm.
But I could see Ravenclaw. Because in a lot of ways, strategic. He did teach Levi. He is a teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's not a good person, really.
He's also a
but
serial
he
killer.
is a teacher. Yeah, he is a teacher. And he had to be smart to avoid the military police for years.
Yeah.
I would say Slytherin.
Yeah,
But
he's
I am gonna say Slytherin.
he gets Slytherin, but with like an upshot on my voice. Slytherin?
Yeah.
Slytherin? Question mark?
Yeah, another question mark here.
Mike.
Mike.
Zacharius. Number 2 before they got the God
Dude,
Man.
they really did my Mike. Did my
my
Mike?
Mike?
Did my boy?
This guy gay.
They really did my boy Mike bad, man. They did him dirty.
Yeah.
I want to say Ravenclaw just for the
The smelling.
eccentricity,
I mean,
but he's
anybody could be weird.
yeah. That's
I mean,
true.
that show is a bunch of weird people.
But he is smart. I mean, he was always planning ahead. That's the thing with Mike.
I would actually make him a Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
Yeah. He stood, I mean, his defining moment was standing up against, Zeke.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And he had like a samurai speech basically.
He did. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Pretty
true.
Okay,
Baller.
Gryffindor.
Okay, Gryffindor.
Rest in peace, Mike.
Okay, Gryffindor instead of okay, Boomer.
Okay, Gryffindor.
Okay, Mark.
That's actually not a bad phrase. Who's the other person? So I said,
Rod.
oh yeah,
Rod, Mario.
yeah.
Mario.
Mario.
We're gonna talk about Mario.
Creepy dude.
Rod's a weird man.
Kind of gives me Muggle energy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yes,
He just
I don't know
gives
why.
me Muggle energy.
Why do you say that?
I don't
He's
know.
just a dude.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
he's just literally trying to survive.
He's a dude, but he's also extremely insane.
Yeah.
Okay, we can
I
make him
guess
a muggle.
if you could put him into any house, and this is like a weak cop out for a house, it would be Hufflepuff because he has a loyalty to his family.
Mhm.
But he doesn't even really have. He's just trying to do whatever helps him.
He doesn't have that much of a loyalty.
No, it's
he
like-
abandoned Historia.
That's true.
Who's
That's
his
true.
daughter?
Yeah, that's true.
You could say Slytherin.
Yeah, you could say Slytherin.
You could. Yeah. Okay. Self-preservation.
And
yeah.
also the reason for his mission was he hated like how uncertain the walls had become in the story of Attack on Titan.
Mm.
And so what he wanted was for Historia to eat Eren because he said, I have to return Kami-sama. I have to return God to this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
To have an omnipotent, distant figure manipulating the truth for the people. He wanted to reinstate authority
Mhm.
in the walls. That was ultimately what he wanted to do.
So what do you think he is?
I think Muggle for some reason.
You know what? Let's just make him a muggle.
Make him
He's a muggle. He's
a
gross.
Muggle, maybe,
He's completely
maybe
outside.
a weak Slytherin, but
Yeah.
a Muggle, like a Wormtail Slytherin,
Yeah.
if he is a Slytherin.
Okay, muggle. Okay, let's talk about Father of the Year. Grisha Yeager.
Yep.
Gryffindor.
Yeah, Gryffindor.
Just like his son.
Yeah, I think one of the most important parallels drawn in the show is the similarity between Grisha and his son.
Yeah,
And-
the pursuit of freedom. Yeah.
And
Okay.
and I mean that was the twinkle in his eye in episode 1 when his son's like, well, if we don't go outside the walls, everybody who's gone out will have died in vain. And then and then Grisha's like, oh, it's kind of similar. He's twiddling his mustache. Yeah, I think Grisha is also a textbook Gryffindor.
He's honestly got a lot of Slytherin and Ravenclaw moments, but
He does, yeah.
is a core
At his core, he's Gryffindor.
because he's he's that intelligent doctor type, and he is a pretty logical guy.
But at his core,
when he was, no, I agree. I'm not making the argument he is. I'm just giving examples.
Yeah.
Like when he's he's literally pleading with the royal family, like this is the logical thing to do, and they're like no, and he smashes the children.
but he's appealing to them with logic.
Yeah.
But what his motivation is,
Yeah.
you people are like trying to keep the people ignorant and in danger.
Yeah, true,
Yeah.
His courage is mainly in defiance to corrupt authority.
true.
Yeah.
Your battery's almost
That was
dead.
well put.
Yeah.
So, Grisha Yeager, Gryffindor house. So let's tally it up, boy. This is a very Gryffindor story. Because it's all about freedom and bravery. So you're going to expect a lot of Gryffindors. We have how many Gryffindors? So we got Eren, Armin, Jean, Connie, Reiner, Keith, Hannes, Grisha, and Mike. For Hufflepuff, we got 7 people. We got Mikasa, Levi, Historia, Marco, Sasha, Nile Dok, and Bertholdt Hoover. For Ravenclaw, we got Hanji, Pyxis, and Darius.
Only 3 people in that one.
Yeah.
For Slytherin, we had 4 people. We got Erwin, Annie, Ymir, and Kenny. And for Muggles, we got Daz, Pasternak, and Rod Reese.
That's that cool kid club right there.
Okay, guys. Thank you for watching this video. These are just our opinions on what Hogwarts house would fit which character, or which character would be sorted into which Hogwarts house. I just said the same thing but in a different way. If you want a part 2 of this kind of video, leave a comment below and give this video a like, and that'll let me know, hey, Ranny, what about the people across the sea? What about them? There's a lot of characters, so if you want us to have our thoughts and our opinions on those characters, let us know. Also, let us know, do you agree? Do you disagree? This is an open conversation. We're open to change our minds.
Are we?
Yeah, we're right. But no, yeah, like, comment down below what your thoughts are on which character would go into which Hogwarts house.
Especially if there's like one defining moment that we just didn't
Yeah.
think of. Like, be like, hey, remember this scene, this is why. Because I'd actually genuinely be interested.
Yeah, that's a good
to
point.
know about that if we just glossed over something.
Yeah, I'm sure we forgot a lot of things because the story is just very large and very
story.
complicated, but it's a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan of the show, and I'm excited for final season part 2 because that's a title. Anyways, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Hit that bell icon so you'll be notified of when I post my next video. If you didn't know, I also live stream video games. I've been trying to live stream every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So far, I've been playing Minecraft and Genshin Impact, and I think I'm gonna start playing Persona 5 Royal Edition. So that would be fun. Anyways, guys, thank you again for watching, and see ya. Take care. Bye. Should we do the Sasagayo?
Oh, yeah.
Devote
Are we
your
doing
hearts.
it the right way?
Yeah, I think so.
doing it the
Yeah,
right way.
yeah, this is the
Over
right
the
way.
heart, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Boom.
Boom.